right, there she is. A lot of things are changing around here. A lot of progress. This thing is completely torn down. Lots of work to do. I ended up getting in lower deck plate and rub bar, or whatever you want to call it. Got the hoop in the front for an electric winch. I'm gonna put a 12K on the front. Got the hood guides in where the hood closes against. We got the doors off, the hoods off, the front A-pillar panels, windshield wiper panels. Put a new bottom in this toolbox. Got to put a bottom in the other toolbox. Wheels and tires are a complete disaster. All split rims, all rusted solid, all foam filled. Here's the rim we're working with. I heat it with a torch. I beat on it with a hammer. I cannot get that bead to break loose. I don't even want to use these wheels, but I might try to heat them up again and beat on them more. I don't really care about the split rim, that don't matter, as long as I can get a tire to seat on it so they can foam fill them. A lot of these, they're all fine, but they were just torn up. Drive shaft is out. I just put it together myself, and I put it together and welded it with a straight edge. It vibrated a little bit, so that's gonna go in, get a brand new drive shaft. These are the nose wheels, because these wheels are roached. So I gotta cut the centers out of them, weld them into them. That's actually probably the easiest part of the project. A couple of the hubs should be gone through. Everything needs to be cleaned. Differential inspected a little bit further. We got this front axle stub, which bolts in right here and here, is bent, because if you look at it straight on, the hub is bent with the bracket. So I'm going to pull that out, get a new one machined to put in there. That actually probably won't be that big of a deal. I noticed when I was working on this more, somebody's broke this axle stub off at one point in his life, because you see how that's got a flat support and then all the welding, and on this side has a round support and no welding. So I'm assuming somebody dropped a chain around there when it was stuck at some point in its life and gave her a old whiskey jerk and ripped an axle out of it. So that's that. Built a panel for the back to cover up the differential and the valve bodies, all removable. I built this little piece so the swing arm has somewhere to travel and so it don't look super ugly. I got exhaust on it right there with a muffler, so it is quite a bit quieter, which is nice. And actually had a pretty good fitment. It's solid pipe there and then flex pipe underneath the cab due to lack of room, but I just kind of looped it over the frame and over. So there's that. I'm gonna jam it because obviously it wasn't jammed before. I'm gonna jam the doors too. Hey cat. These are the A-pillar that mesh with the hood. I gotta fiberglass the back sides to fill in the gap and then flush it off so it looks appropriate along with the hood. This part's easy, but I'll have to fiberglass the back side, and I'll probably grind the heads off and weld them so it's still got a bolt through so it's nice and rigid and won't crack. I'm gonna put PVC pipe on both sides and fiberglass it in so the wire has somewhere to run, because there's not a great way to tie it up, and with the vibrations and the way this thing's gonna be worked, it can't fall apart. I'd like to have took the cab and everything off of the bottom, but I guess I don't necessarily have to. But the bottom's not gonna get sandblasted, and it probably won't look super good. I'm gonna hit it with a wire wheel, pressure washer, Raptor liner, call it a day, because it's just gonna get abused anyways, and sticks and mud and everything else. But overall, it is coming along. I got it boomed out, gotta pull the shiv heads off, clean and sand and grind literally every ounce of this thing, and get it ready for paint. I gotta pull a fuel tank. The windows are tinted now, so that's kind of cool. Put them at 50% on all the windows. I gotta pull the mirrors off the doors, which I thought that was gonna be hard, but actually it's pretty accessible. It looks like it'll come apart, so that'll be nice, easy to paint. Pull the rest of the graphics off. I gotta get a rubber wheel to do that. So overall, just a ton of work ahead of me. but it's a ton of work, but then again, not really. It'll get done eventually, but the goal is to get it done for the Wisconsin Tow Show, which will be coming June 21st. So we got a month, probably a month and a half to get it all sewed up, which I think is definitely doable. Got everything fully extended now, so I can be able to get most of the spots fairly easy. Then I got the tracks out here, which I really want to build new tracks, but I don't think I'm gonna have time. I am gonna make some phone calls on belting though. That should be easy enough to get. No big deal there, but I don't know if I'll have time to rebelt them, which they're fine. They're just a little weather checked, but so I'll probably throw them back on, and they're easy enough to take on and off to build new ones later. But if I'm gonna paint it, I gotta have them off to get all the nooks and crannies the best I can on the undercarriage. I wasn't gonna do any of the undercarriage, but I'm like, boy, if I'm this deep, might as well keep going. So yeah, there it is. It's pretty much torn apart. Some assembly required. I don't know what else. Oh, I reached out to D&D Patty on building me wheels for it, and then just ditching the old wheels because they're just going to be a pain. I mean, a couple of these wheels are actually pretty decent, so maybe they would come apart easier, which I'm sure them ones would, but then there's ones like this that are totally smoked and rusty. So D&D Patty is going to give me a quote on building me normal style wheels with plate centers. And maybe, depending on price and everything, I might have them cut spokes in them so it kind of looks cool. I mean, if you're getting custom wheels, you might as well make it look cool. So we will see on that. To be continued. Haven't heard back yet. It's only been today, so I don't expect that. But as long as I get all the paint and body work done, and if I can get all that done within May, and then all I have to do is the wheels and tracks and stuff in June. I mean, I don't see why it can't be done. I mean, as far as like major welding goes, it's pretty much done. Besides, I got to put the bottom in this box, fix some rust holes, and I have to put the plate across the front here, but that's all fairly easy. And then build a winch mount. So the winch will sit here. I have 2 KC daylighters under there. Kicking around the idea of ditching the old light bar, and since this thing's, I'm trying to go like 90s vibes, and this is from the 90s, do like a chrome pipe roll bar with big KC lights across the top, the round ones. I don't know. We'll see if I can find a aluminum pipe roll bar like on a newer record to put on it for a fair price. I might do that, just make it cool. Because, I mean, yeah, the light bar is neat too, but at the end of the day, you'll never use it, but you'll always need work lights. So we might ditch the old light bar, even though it all works and it always hooked up, but I can always put it back on too. That is to be continued on that. But yeah, now it's a real project now. But to be continued. Hopefully get some updates in the coming days on it.